Guess what time it is? It is time for your daily dose of Cyberpunk 2077 news updates. We're going to be talking about several headlines today, including this one right here. Cyberpunk 2077 is a mess on PS4 and Xbox One, and the memes have already begun. Plus, it looks like a lot of you agree that Cyberpunk needed more time in development, like maybe another year of dev time, because a lot of you are experiencing many different problems from bugs, crashes, visual issues, and that sort of thing, especially if you are on console and even PC. Now, I'm going to talk about how you can actually address some of these issues if you are on console or PC, plus how you can actually enhance your gameplay if you are using a controller. So let's dive straight in right now. Hey everyone, what's happening? Open World Games here. Hope you're doing good. And yes, I too have been playing Cyberpunk 2077. And yes, I have been running into my fair share of bugs and glitches. And there have been game-breaking bugs like the storyline wouldn't continue. I had to reset after figuring out that after 20 minutes that, Jackie wasn't even in existence in the game world. So those type of bugs are pain in the butt for sure. But here's this post right here. This is super important. If you want to address some of those visual glitches, turn off chromatic aberration, film grain, and motion blur. That is super important. It's something I actually need to do as well. I'm going to be tinkering around with my visual settings after this video actually, and focusing on that as well. But if you want to improve your gameplay on controller, this is the controller settings detailed right here, and I guess it feels a lot better. So in your controller settings, turn on advanced options, turn on your horizontal and vertical turning bonuses all the way to 0. A lot of people are saying that this is helping them out. It's got 9,193 upvotes, probably 10K by now, so go check that out as well. Now let's go ahead and dive into this post right here. This is from Eurogamer.net. They go on to say the following about the state of Cyberpunk 2077 on those base consoles. This is what we were really worrying about, and there was good reason to worry, and it looks like it's not good. This is what they say. Cyberpunk 2077 launched at midnight last night, and now the console versions are out in the wild. We're getting our first proper look at the game running on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Early impressions are, unfortunately, not great. This is honestly, I'm not surprised. This is what I was expecting to hear about the PS4 and Xbox One versions. Now, also, they say this. I've been playing the PS4 version of CD Projekt Red's Sci-Fi's Epic and can report poor performance, including low frame rate and texture pop-in when the screen is busy. Even when it's not, there is an occasional low-res blur to the visuals, and I've encountered multiple characters locked in a T-pose, frozen in place, or glitched into an object. You can still talk to these NPCs, but their mouths do not move. That has happened to me a lot, where the lip syncing is just not working. This is also with the update. It says, according to Morgan, and Morgan is, of course, from Digital Foundry, they say Cyberpunk 2077 on PS4 looks very blurry, running between 720p and 900p resolution. And the frame rate for any driving around the big city areas is constantly at 20. While some indoor battles run around 30 frames per second, they can drop to 25 frames per second. So you can see a lot of problems on these base consoles. They go on to say this: running the game on PlayStation 5 via backwards compatibility does improve matters to a degree. Certainly loading is faster and the frame rate is unlocked at 60 frames per second, but the glitches, including the T-posing NPCs, remain. And yeah, it's really the glitches, and you can say, like, yeah, it's just visual glitches. They're not gameplay breaking, but they become just that when you're in an important cinematic moment. Like, I was meeting a character for the first time, really badass character, and his lips weren't syncing, he wasn't moving right, and I've seen, I think it was the 2018 demonstration with this character, and I was kind of like, I was bummed. I was like, wow, that really sucks. Anyway, moving on. I hope they get these issues fixed. CD Projekt Red said they're going to support the game big time post-launch. So guys, I'll keep you in the know, updated about anything related to patches and things like that are going to be coming up, because I'm sure there's going to be loads of patches for this game. Now, the Eurogamer article goes on to state this: Digital Foundry's scientific analysis is of course inbound, but what is clear at this early stage is there is a significant divide between the PC version of Cyberpunk 2077 and the console versions. And even just hours after release, the Cyberpunk 2077 console memes have begun, and they posted some examples here. Damn, Cyberpunk 2077 on base PS4 and Xbox One looks great. And you can see how amazing it looks. Then also we have CD Projekt Red has outdone themselves. They somehow got Cyberpunk 2077 to run on the base PS4. It looks great. So a lot of complaints going on for those stuck on the PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game, and that's super unfortunate. However, again, I will keep you updated about any potential updates, but just from the actual city and looking at the design of the city and how dense it is already, I just feel like this is a next-gen game, that this was really built in mind with next-gen. And if you're wondering what I'm running on, it's a beefed-up PC with the 2080 Ti graphics card, Threadripper. It's set to go, and I need to tone back some of the settings still, because I don't have a 3080 Ti. All right, let's keep moving on here. So yeah, you guys felt like, at least many of you felt like the game needed another year of dev time, according to this post. Nearly 14,300 upvotes on this one. Probably has more by the time this video is posted. They go on to say that it seems like CD Projekt Red spent 99% of the dev time creating an incredible and immersive open world with great quests, and 1% of the time getting it to run properly. As much as I'm sure nobody wants to wait further after waiting so long and getting hyped up beyond belief, this game seriously needs like another whole year of dev time just for optimizing and bug fixing the game. The amazing game underneath the mess has kind of been spoiled. And that's, how a lot of people are feeling. For sure. So, I think people that wait 6 months to a year will really benefit from those patches. They go on to say this edit, just for those who keep asking, I'm on PC and have an RTX 3080, i5 6000 overclocked to 5 gigahertz. I'm lucky because the game is still mostly playable for me. I go down to 40 frames per second in open world places with an RTX off. The bugs I see are nearly all visual, though sometimes really annoying, but I've had it happen quite a few times where I just get teleported forward several feet while sneaking and also unable to pick up objects randomly. I honestly love what I've seen of the game so far. I just want to be real here. The game is not in an acceptable release state. Seems like, again, you agree. And here's the reply from Sidrus. He says, it's funny how some people can't play the game due to crashes, and others have seen maybe 1 to 2 minor bugs in like 10 hours of playtime. This was the reply. Yep, seems I'm in the lucky category. 10 hours, few visual bugs, no crashes. And I've seen some of the devs talking about how the game's actually running good on the 2080 Ti, which is what I'm running. So I think it just depends on your hardware DNA, I guess you would say, the makeup of your PC. As for the console versions, my twin bro Ryan, he's playing on PlayStation 5, and he says so far it's running really well, but he's not past like the tutorial, but he says it looks absolutely gorgeous. So we'll see what he says as well. So he's playing that currently on PlayStation 5. Now also, let's talk about this one right here. The game is finished and total disaster with graphics and textures applying nearly 30,000 upvotes. That is no joke. That is not a joke right there. So a lot of you are feeling this. Says, sorry folks that I was so hyped for the game, but man, it's so clear to see after 4 hours of playing this game is still a work site. Horrible optimization playing on PS4. Some texture starts loading after 2 to 3 seconds. You see them, and you see a huge box, and a few seconds later, it becomes a car. I'm too disappointed to go through. Don't even compare it to Witcher 3. I've actually seen that exact problem where characters are all blocky and boxy. It takes a good 15 to 20 seconds for them to load in, but I need to scale back some of my graphics settings because I've heard that can alleviate that problem. And hopefully, that graphics fix thing that I posted initially in this video helps you guys out. Let me know if that actually helps, turning off the chromatic abbreviation or whatever it's called. Let me know if that helps for sure. I was calling abbreviation for some reason, but anyway, let's keep going. It says 41% of pre-orders were on consoles, so yeah, we are the loud minority. But it goes on to say the following, and this one was also a good point. It says, we also paid the full price for the game, and we also deserve a polished product. That you do. Believe me, guys, I want to love this game. I was so hyped, but this is simply not acceptable. Just imagine for a second EA would publish this game, this crap storm would be 10 times bigger. This company released The Witcher 3 on consoles, and it looked amazing at the time. They even released it on the Switch. So that's a good point, and I guess he's asking him, himself, and bringing that question to all of us: what happened here on those base consoles? Again, I think they at some point during development were like, let's push this game to be a next-gen game. Like, we want this to be a next-gen game. So I'm thinking that's what happened. They really prepped it for PS5 and Xbox Series X, and of course PC. Now it's time for your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below. It could end up in a future video. You never know. You never know. So let's do this. Top comment number 1 comes from, I don't know how to say that one. He says, every reviewer rushed the game, never thoroughly played through. Their opinions are irrelevant. We need people like yourself with the goal to play the game at its fullest. Yeah. I'm going to take my time with the game and just enjoy it for what it is. I knew it would be like a Skyrim with the bugs, which is a bummer. Like, Skyrim had some very distracting bugs. We can all laugh at them, but they were also distracting from the experience. And that's kind of what's happening with this game. And I'll keep you guys updated as to whether or not I can improve my performance. And if you guys are improving your game's performance as well, let me know. Tweet at me, post in the comments, write me at my business, my email, which is available on the YouTube channel. Let me know if you guys have been able to address some of your issues by just tinkering around. All right, Andre says this. I love that the game is single player. Main reason I'm getting it, never been into multiplayer except couch co-op. Yeah, there was that whole video I made about CD Projekt Red coming out there and kind of, I guess you would say the term bash. It wasn't really a bash. Many of you noted that. But someone said, your game's going to die because it's not multiplayer. It's going to die within like a year or a month or whatever. And I don't think that's the case at all. And they just replied, okay, sarcastically. I found it hilarious. And it's good to see so many of you guys are like single player fans and love that story-driven experience like me. All right, Lady Hawk says this. Haters, it will die in a month. Modder Skyrim. Oh, yeah? Challenge accepted. I cannot wait to see what modders do. And the Nexus mod page is actually already up and ready to go for Cyberpunk 2077. They've begun doing stuff with the UI and things like that. So I'm excited to see, what they do with the graphics, characters, maybe even, design their entire quest lines. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I really hope to make some videos about the cool mods coming up. But thank you all so much for watching, for the love and support on all the videos. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you next time. Take care.